Hey there, and welcome to 31 Days of Craftoween. This is day 25. I and my dumb brain forgot to turn on the microphone when I started to film. So you get to have voiceovers till pretty much nearly the end of the video. I am so sorry. Ah, we're out of Nightmare Before Christmas things because we used up all 24 days. So I have this Universal Monster collection. Inside these balls are items related to Universal monsters like Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and so on. These, as far as I know, are not actual figures. They're just items related to those things. They're still Halloween mystery items, and we're going to pull the first one today. So you can see they're in these little green and white balls, kind of like a plastic Easter egg, and we have a Creature from the Black Lagoon eraser. He's kind of ugly, but I'm sure that one of my students will want him, so we'll give it away at school. Now we're going to take a look at the prompts list, and this actually took me a while to pick out a few, but what I ended up choosing was to include Jack Skellington again, to include a quote that came from a picture I took on my phone. It was hanging outside of the library at school, and I took a picture of it, and I thought it would be fun to incorporate here in the journal. The 3 stickers to form a triangle prompt we're going to use again here, stenciling, and some lace. Once again, I'm sorry that you're having to hear a voiceover instead of seeing the actual footage. Totally my fault. For background, I've chosen some more black paper with tiny white stripes. I felt like I needed to because we were doing Jack Skellington on this page, so it was just kind of fate. So you can see that I've now glued down the pages, and I already put down a picture and some lace. I did this so that I could maybe surprise you with something kind of fun and exciting. So I'm going to lift this up, and ta-da! There's a hiding place underneath there. It's kind of like a secret pocket, but just a flap. I am going to decorate inside of there, and that's also going to have something to do with the quote that I'm going to be adding later. So we can see that we've got 2 pages here, so I can cut through the one that the black and white stripe is actually glued onto, and there will be a window, and then we'll decorate on the page behind. So now I'm just putting that paper pack underneath so I can take my X-Acto knife and cut out the window, and I'm going to try really hard not to screw it up because this makes me super nervous, like what if I just ruin this page? Luckily, things went pretty well for me this time around as far as this part goes. Oh goodness, it still just makes me nervous watching it back. Please don't screw it up. Alright, so we'll take that out, and then I'm going to trace around underneath inside the square on the page underneath so that I know what part to decorate. So I just went lightly around this with a pencil, and then I knew where my decoration area was. So I edged around, or not edged, but kind of went over the space with some black soot distress ink, added some washi tape, and these cute little twins from the Tim Holtz Paper Doll Halloween collection. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue this page down, except for, of course, where the pocket lifts up, and we'll be able to open the front page and see the twins there in that little collage. Here is a shot of opening the window, or door, or whatever you want to call it, and seeing the twins there. To bring in Jack Skellington, I'm going to be cutting a piece of this pretty fabric. I found a fat quarter of this fabric at Walmart, and I decided to cut a piece out to put on this spread. Here I have written out the quote that I had taken a picture of. If one door closes and the other one opens, your house is probably haunted. And I thought that would be good to go with the house that looks like it could very well be haunted. That's also from the Tim Holtz Halloween paper doll collection. It was just a photo of an old house. And then we would go into the haunted house by opening the door flap, whatever, and seeing the twin ghosts. Twins always, when it comes to spooky things, make me think of The Shining, and yeah. I, looking back on it now, kind of regret making the quote so big. It's going to cause future problems, and I get frustrated with this page spread, but it's what it is. For stenciling, I decided to use this stencil from Tim Holtz. I'm using a lot of Tim Holtz today, and I'm going to be using the circle part at the bottom, along with some Picket Fence Distress ink and a sponge. And I'm going to do the bottom left corner of the page and then the top right corner of the page. I'm now pulling at the edges of this square of fabric with my fingernail to try to fray it up a little bit. It made a little bit of a mess with strings flying everywhere, but I like the look of it better than just smooth edges. I went ahead and glued that down, and then I wanted to use the rest of that piece of lace, so I'm gluing it so that the edge peeks out a little bit from the page, kind of like a page tab. Then for the sticker element, I decided to go with these black and white spooky portraits. I'm going to place 3 down to form a triangle, and I was trying to choose ones that were a little bit odd, a little bit spooky, and they're not going to be super zoomed in, but we're going to put one down there by the quote, and then the other 2 will go on the right hand side of the spread. One I'll have to reposition, which isn't going to be great because then I'll have to like re-glue it because it doesn't want to stick, but I'd rather do that than have something in the wrong position for the rest of forever because I put it in the wrong place. So that top one you see there is the one that I'm going to move, and then I've got this third one here, which is actually a witch, and she's going to stay there. So we've got 1, 2, 3 ladies, and now you can see I'm moving that sticker over to the left so that it's in a better position, at least in my eyes. I am now going around each sticker with some Distress Ink black soot and a brush just to take away some of the harsh glare of the white border around those stickers. It was at this point that I was really hating this spread. I felt like the left side and the right side worked individually but didn't really like work together. So I started to desperately search for things that I could add to the page and hopefully make it a little bit nicer, a little bit better look, at least more satisfying to myself, because at this point I hated its guts. So here I've added some washi tape as well as a haunted sentiment on the right side, although I still don't love it. Here I'm showing how the left side works and the right side works, but they're just not working together. And then I came up with an idea to fix it, so we'll look at that next.
Holy crap, I just realized that I forgot to have my microphone on. I've probably had it off for this whole video. Dang it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the voiceover. I think I know what I need to do. I'm going to take this black scrap of fabric and place it here. That way we'll still have a bit of Jack there fulfilling the prompt. And then I'm going to trim this card. This is from the Tim Holtz Halloween paper doll set. We're going to trim this down and place it on top. I think that'll fix what's wrong in my mind. So give me a moment to figure that out. Oh, I like that so much better. Poor Jack. He's just gonna have to be kind of a background player in this spread. Darn it. We can still see him there though, like if you look here, you can totally tell that that's Jack. I think that works better. I'm not as terrified of how this looks now. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We can now move onward. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this one. Please come back for the next one in day 26. And for now, have a wonderful, magical, and spooky day. Happy crafting. Adios.